What up though, this your boy DOC, and before we jump into this video, after this video, make sure you check the description, check out all my merch. It's tons of new designs available and I upload different designs weekly. Peace.
When it's shocked, when he labeled me psychotic, it's ironic cause I cook up rappers and narcotics. A product of the game, in the projects, hopping out of flying objects, shooting hollows at your brain.
What up though, this your boy DOC, and I got a special guest on the line. If you want to introduce yourself and where you from.
Yeah, what's up y'all, man? It's your boy Ampichino, man, from Akron, Ohio, man. You feel me?
Word, man. Well, first, before we get into this interview, I want to tell you I appreciate the interview, and it's been a long time coming. And the crazy thing about it, I done had multiple people probably over the past 5-6 months, different people that just reach out to me through social media and stuff like, man, you got to interview Ampichino. You got to interview him. Like, dude, a beast, and it's crazy. One of my homies from Sacramento had put me up on your music a while back, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, okay, dude, spitting it. And when I went to research and everything, now you can correct me if I'm wrong, but when I got to researching and stuff, like I seen over 40 something different albums or projects. Is that true?
Oh yeah, straight up. Yeah, I got and that's like 40 something that you can get your hands on right now. Because actually, I got other underground shit that motherfuckers that's so underground that motherfuckers didn't even get a chance to hear it. So I really got probably about 50 projects for real.
Okay. Now, which one of these would you consider the very first one? Extortion Music 4, or is stuff before that?
Extortion, no, that's HD.
Okay.
I ain't even got no album called Extortion Music. That's HD, my homie.
Okay, because they got on here, I wrote down some of the albums, you know, the Black Tony, Blow, Dark Knight, Collection, Machine Music, and then the very first one, it said 2012. So what was the official name of your very first album?
The official first album was called Intergalactica.
Intergalactica, okay.
Yeah.
Now taking it back to that time, like around that time, like what made you get into the hip hop lane? Was you like rapping since a kid, or was you just testing it out, or how did that turn out?
Yeah, I've been rapping since a youth, man. So hell yeah, I've been in love with hip hop ever since I first heard it.
Yeah. Was it like a you know, did you have other peers around you rapping? You automatically jump in the studio? You know, like, was there a certain situation, like, what, like, for you, looking at the situation, what made you start taking rap serious?
Because, I kept going to jail. You know what I'm saying? I went to jail, and I was always, like, the dopest rapper around, for real. And I always was going to make some music, but I was too caught up in the streets and shit, man. And then I went to jail. I came home, and then I ended up going right back. And when I came home the second time, I was like, fuck this, man. I'm about to just go ahead and do it. Because I'm spending all this money on attorneys and all this shit. I might as well just put it behind me. You feel me?
Right. Now, growing up, you know, born and raised in Akron?
Yeah.
Okay.
Born and raised here, yeah.
How would you explain it, like, growing up as a kid during that time?
Man, it was dope. It was more unity, more family orientated until, you know, the dope hit real heavy. You know, when the dope hit heavy, you know, everything got turned out. So it was just like any other hood for real. Everybody on dope and everybody trying to hustle dope.
Yeah. And I see you said that you end up, you know, that experience of you going to jail end up making you, you know, get off into the music. I like to ask artists that, you know, come from a real situation and what I deem to be a real individual, like, how was that transition as far as leaving the streets? As far as, was it a transition where you had to leave the people that you were messing with alone? You know, were people influencing you, like, yeah, jump into the rap game, or did people believe in the craft and everything that you was doing?
Yeah, everybody believed in it. Like I told you, I was so dope, bro, that, you know, I've been doing shows and all that shit even before I even put out an album. So I would battle niggas, I would do shows, freestyle. I was doing all the dope shit, but I was just like caught up in the streets. So when I finally did say I'm a transition, you know, everybody was with it, but I was like one of the head dudes, so they still wanted me to be, you know, involved in the street shit, but I just had to go ahead and do what I needed to do for, you know, for them too.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because I wasn't just doing it for me. I was doing it so I could, you know, turn all my other niggas up on, you know what I'm saying, trying to get some legal money.
Right, right. Now, when I first got up on you, it was a lot of collaborations and everything, and rest in peace to the Jacker, and it was a little bit before then. Like, how did you and his relationship come about?
Me and Yuck, I had met Yuck around Super Bowl time when it was in Atlanta. I think that's 2000. And me and Yuck, I was like, man, I'm going to come out there and mess with you and shit and get you on this album. He like that. So I ended up doing that. And I went out to L.A. and I was messing with Yuck. We ended up doing 2 songs for my first album. So, but then when I went back out there, we was sitting around with it. So Yuck used to freestyle and do all that shit too. And that's when he was like, man, fuck this, man. You, nigga, you so dope. You got to be a part of what I'm doing. So we start clicking and getting everything together. Then one day, I was in New York. It's probably about 6 months after I met Yuck. I was in New York, and C-Bo and the Mob Figures had a show in Canton. He was like, man, Bo and them down there, bro, go tap in with them. I went and tapped in with them, and it's been love ever since.
Word. Yeah. Now, you know, a question I wanted to ask you with so many projects being out, like how the rap game is now, you know, have you ever attempted to try to go with a major, or you always wanted to stay independent? Like, you know, which one would you prefer, or you chose to, like, stay independent in your lane? Because you pump out a lot of music.
Yeah, only way I would go major if I get a label deal and enough money to change more than 10 people's lives. If they ain't talking that, then we're going to just keep pumping it how we pumping it because, you know, I own all the rights. I could do what I want to do. I could drop when I want to drop. And we already making enough bread for, you know, the finance, all the shit that we need to do. So, you know, I've been in talks with major people a couple times and stuff, and I had to, you know, turn it down because they was offering what I already had.
Right. Yeah. Do you like the transition of where music is at now with the streaming compared to like when it was CD based and all that? You know what I mean? Not necessarily like in your pockets, but like just overall, is it a shift, you know, like in how much music pay now, or is it pretty much still the same?
I'm gonna tell you the truth. I like it, and I like it because it's more easier for motherfuckers to get on. You know, you could just overnight and just be on in the next week. You know what I'm saying? So that's dope to me. And you know what I'm saying? I like to see all type of people get money, especially the youth. You know what I'm saying? So when the youth can get in the basement and do a song and put it up, and then all of a sudden, you know, like they make it dance, that's dope to me. So
yeah. See, now being from Akron, now that's a part of the Midwest. Being from the Midwest, or if you want to specifically speak on Akron or the Ohio representation in the rap game, do you think Ohio is like properly represented, or do you think like the Midwest as a whole don't get represented right? And if you do feel that way, like why do you feel it's that way?
Yeah, I don't think we get represented the right way because it ain't really no outlets here. There are niggas that usually do get on. You would never know they from the Midwest because they got to train so much and do so much and be around so many different people that if you don't dive deep, you probably won't even know they from the Midwest. So we really ain't got no representation here. And yeah, it's a lot of people that slept on, but you know, it's a lot of people that's making noise too, though. So like Detroit, they making noise right now, and that's dope. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Because I always wonder that, like, especially when I heard your music and I hear a couple other individuals that's from around there, like, 'cause I listen to a certain type of music of people that, you know, put out a certain type of vibe, or because a lot of songs I've ran across from you, sometimes to be more storytelling, it's very detailed and stuff like that, you know. Was that something that you always been into, just painting pictures, you know, that, like, for if it was a person that was listening right now that never heard of Ampichino, like, how would you describe your music to them?
my music is more like, you know, we're going to tell you, if we talking about selling dope, we're going to tell you the good, the bad, and the ugly about it. We ain't going to just be like, we selling dope and we rich and you niggas broke and I'm fucking your bitches and all that. We're going to tell you, nigga, we selling, because it's real. We selling dope. Nigga, the police just got my nig. My other nigga just got gunned down. We got a lot of bread out of it, but was it really worth it? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we gonna give you all the aspects of the shit.
Yeah, yeah. And for real, that's, to me, that's definitely was needed, because it's been a big, you know, conversation in the hip hop game just about the generation gap. You know, where like the youngins don't like to listen to the OGs, or vice versa. You know, the information is not being shared. In your particular area, is it like that, or is it still like unity still between where the young, you know, the little dudes coming up, they listen to what you have to say and things like that in your environment?
Yeah, but I think it's still like that with me here because I'm still the biggest artist. I feel if most likely if it was artists bigger than me, they probably wouldn't give a shit what I was talking about. You know what I'm saying? But right now, yeah, I can still reach them and still, and that's why I do it, and that's why I always have young niggas on my albums, because I'm trying to show them how to do it legal, how to create your own business, how to start your own companies, and then, you know, how to get money out of it and push their own line, because a lot of artists around here I could have just signed and did that, but I don't want to sign people if I can't change your life when you signing that paperwork. Right. So instead of just signing you, I'd rather show you how to do it yourself and how I built my business up for the ground, and you go ahead and run with it, and I don't want nothing from it. I just want to see you do good.
Right. And that's real, for real, because it's not a lot of people like that. A lot of people nowadays like to, you know, tuck and hide information from individuals because they end up being a competition in between. Well, I don't want to see that person shine because they may end up blowing up and not looking back out type of attitude, you know. Like, where you at business minded and everything now, was that something you just had to learn along the way, learning the music business, or was it any particular like artists or moguls or anything like you ran across that sat down and kind of gave you the game?
I got mine from the streets. You feel me? I looked at the rap game just like the streets, and buying CDs was like buying a pack. And what I did was I watched DVDs and I read and I understood it, because I understood a lot of stuff at school. It was just too slow and too boring, and I wanted to get out here right now. So that's why school didn't look that, you know what I'm saying, good to me. But I understood it, and so I can catch on quick, and I understand business. So it was a real easy transition for me, for real.
Yeah. Now, going back, and, you know, once again, rest in peace to Jacker. How many official projects did you guys collaborate and do together?
We did all three of the Devil Rejects. So that's the 3 projects, and the last one just came out in August. So yeah, all of them, we was together the whole time we did every album.
Yeah. And how did that, his, you know, unfortunate situation, how would you describe, how did it impact you, you know, when you heard that unfortunate, you know, heard that he was had an untimely passing?
It's still affecting me to this day, and the cold thing about it is, when that happened to the Jack, I had quit making music for like a year and a half, man. You know what I'm saying? I was in a real dark place because the Jack was so much of a good person that you can never imagine that happening to nobody like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, he would literally get the shirt off his back to a person walking down the street. Like, that's who he was, man. I don't even think any time that I ever was around Jack that I ever spent no money. He wouldn't even let me spend my money, especially if I'm out in the Bay.
Yeah.
So that's what type of dude he was, man. And it had a big effect on the whole hip hop world. You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy, bro.
Yeah. And I see you definitely, you know, as much as possible, keep his name and his spirit alive with everything that you do. You know, I know just like kind of, it was off the record, but you were just speaking about, you know, you were doing a turkey drive and a tour and everything. Like, how has all that been going?
man. The tour been real successful, man. We about almost halfway in right now. I got probably about 10 more dates left for the first leg of it. Then we're gonna start the second leg after the first. And then the turkey drive was real successful, man. We fed probably close to 300 families yesterday, and we gave them the whole thing. We didn't just give them turkey. We gave them everything that you needed to cook a big meal, man. And it was dope to see the look on people's faces when they thought they were just coming to get the turkey, and they getting everything all the way down to dessert. You know what I'm saying? So it was dope, man. And, you know, I tried to go live a little bit and put it on camera just so people from the streets know that, you know, you got to give back, and I want you to give back, you know what I'm saying? So I got to give you some type of example because I've been giving back for so long, but I would never show it. And I'm like, let me show it so the other youth and all this to know that it's cool for a nigga from the streets to come and spend his bread back with the community. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah. Now, you know, dealing with the hip-hop game, and, you know, a lot of people there feel like, you know, it's a ton of fake rappers in the game. Then you got some real rappers in the game. Like, you know, being an authentic individual, do you feel like from your perspective that handicaps getting in the game where like maybe it may scare off certain people from wanting to deal with you? Do you think they understand it? Because I see a lot of times they'll get people that's like a mascot for the quote-unquote streets, but like you said, in your raps, you give them the good and bad. And I can kind of tell when someone really from it, because they will give you both sides, and they'll go in detail, Dan are more in detail about the bad than just the good. You know what I mean? Do you feel like being a quote-unquote real one, that it can be a handicap in this particular business?
Yeah, it can be a handicap, and because, you know, because it's always been so much fake shit going on with anything you get into. I don't care if it's the nightclub business. I don't care if it's the streets or music. It's always going to be 90% fake, 10% real. You know what I'm saying? So you got to know. But, you know, real people can look at it and know that it's fake as soon as you look at it. You feel me?
Right.
But it do deter it, and it is a handicap.